My name is Shruti. I am an assistant editor with the Times of India, Bangalore. And we have a host of eminent panelists today with us. Before I go ahead, let me just give you a brief about KCET. The Common Entrance Test is scheduled to be held on May 20th and 21st this year. May 20th is the biology and maths paper, followed by the physics and chemistry on day 2. On Monday, May 22nd, there will be a Kannada paper for the Horanadu and Gettinadu candidates, which will be at a 4th standard level competency. So CET is basically an entrance test that holds key to the government seats in government aided and private colleges in the state for a variety of courses, including engineering, pharmacy, farm sciences, veterinary, agriculture, and so on. We have close to around 2 lakh students now taking the entrance test. And joining us today is Ramya is IAS. She is the Executive Director for the Karnataka Examination Authority, which is the agency that holds the exam year on year. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us today. I know it's just 10 days, would have been extremely busy schedule for you. Over to you. And just to the audience, in case you have any questions for any of the panelists, including Ramya, you can drop in the comment in the comments box. We'll take it up once our questions are over. So over to you, ma'am. You can address the students now.
I think the major inputs have already been given by Mrs. Shruti Susan. So schedule she has already given, and it's the same pattern. Like I was asked few questions whether there's any change in the pattern and all, and there is no change in the pattern as such. As she has already said, this is the common entrance test for so many professional courses. It's not only for engineering or agriculture or veterinary or farm science, it's also for BSc nursing. So there's no change in the pattern as such. It's the same 60-mark questions for each subject with multiple choice questions, and there is no negative marking as such. And it's the duration is 1 hour 10 minutes. And she has already said it's biology and mathematics on the first day and physics and chemistry on the second day. So what I suggest is the students, like if the exam is at 10:30, and please don't reach the exam center by 10:20, 10:25 and all, because each minute counts. The time is the essence for the exam. Like your expertise, if it's at one level, the time management is at another level. So both has to be managed together. And so you should not be in a hurry when you reach the exam center and all. Please reach at least 1.5 hours earlier so that you can comfortably search your classroom in case there is any discrepancy with your CET number or where they have written your hall ticket number and all. It will be easy for you to handle. There will always be some kind of unexpected events. So such unexpected events should not jeopardize you due to the lack of time. So kindly be at least 1.5 hours early to the exam center. Kindly be seated comfortably, and then please give your exams. And as I've already said, there is no negative marking here, but it's a multiple choice and it's an OMR sheet. And OMR sheet, you have to take 2 things. I mean, when you write in an OMR sheet, you have to keep 2 things in mind. First of all, please use ballpoint pen. Ballpoint pen, because the ink should not spread outside the circle where you are shading. So please use ballpoint pen, and even in the ballpoint pen, only 2 colors are permitted, black or blue. Please use either of the 2. And also ensure that many people, like I've seen, when they are thinking, they usually keep the pen in their hand. And sometimes it happens that the pen in your hand will make a mark on the OMR sheet. And when we scan the paper, it will take it as 2 answers. In case you have shaded one circle completely, and there is a dot or so in the next circle, then since it's a very high calibrated machine, it will take that the answers have been given for 2 circles. So there should not be any stray mark and all. If you are thinking and all, don't keep the pen in your hand. Use it only when you shade the circle. So that's very important, using of the ballpoint pen, and not to make any stray marks other than the circle where you intend to shade. Don't put dot here and there and all on the OMR sheet. And secondly, the correct version code should be written. As already like CET, it will be, the question paper will not be the same for everybody. The questions will be same, but it will be reordered for 16 students. That is, there will be some 16 versions of the question paper. When that is so, you have to put the correct version code. I mean, there will be like A1, A2, A3 until D1, D2, D3, D4. So you should write the correct version of your question paper, D4 or D1. And when you write, after that, coding of the same is also very important, shading the same. Many people, they would have written D4, but shading will be for B4 or A4, which should not happen. Then the scanner will take the A4 as the version code of your OMR sheet. So it's very important. First, note down the version code in the question paper and then carefully write it on the OMR sheet. And whatever you write, shade it properly in the circles given below. Version code. These two are the most important instructions for all candidates who will write the exams. And also please manage your time, since 60 questions have to be answered and there is no negative marking. Don't spend a lot of time on one single question. And when I say so much about time, you should also bear in mind that watches are not allowed to the exams. Candidates are not permitted to wear any watches and all. There'll be a wall clock in the classroom, which you have to make use of. And we'll also host bell timings in our website. So in case you're not able to watch see the wall clock, then you have to be aware of the bell timings. First bell is at this time, second bell, third bell and all. So you should keep in touch with the time. These are two important instructions for writing the exams. And secondly, we have come across certain incidences in the previous year where the candidate would have mistakenly assumed that he has filled in the application, but unfortunately he would have left it incomplete. So now we have given an opportunity to fill the applications again. But many candidates, what they do is they'll think, okay, I have filled in the application. I'll download the hall ticket the day before the exam. Please don't do that. Right now, around 1,90,000 students have already downloaded their hall tickets. Please download your hall ticket. Don't wait for the last minute. In case while downloading, you find out that your application is incomplete, you have not declared, you have not done the declaration, or you have not paid the fees, and so you're unable to download the hall ticket, then there is an opportunity today and tomorrow to fill the application and to pay the fees. So kindly make use of this opportunity, download your hall tickets. In case there is an issue with your application, that can be sorted out in these 2 days. This is the major thing which I would like to say. Kindly make use of this opportunity. All of you kindly download your hall tickets. Don't wait for the last minute. And secondly, immediately after the second day of the exam, that is after the physics and chemistry on Sunday, that day evening, we are giving an edit option open for the students. Like I see that many students have filled in wrong details. The Muslim candidate has put his religion as Hindu and vice versa. And some of them, they belong to certain special categories like sports quota, defense quota and all, which they have not entered in their applications. And some, they have put their reservations wrong, categories. That is, if somebody belongs to 2A, he has put it as 3B and all. So an opportunity is being given on the evening of 21st for the students to edit all these details, even their study details. If in case they have made any mistake, they have to edit it. Since the document verification is going online from the last year, in case the student, if he has put his study period of first standard and second standard as some taluka in Raichur, but actually he has studied it in Bijapur, then his details will be going to Bijapur BO office for verification. So it is very much necessary that he sees that all students see their study details, whether they have correctly entered their school name and the district properly, because the data will go off to that particular district. And in case there is any mistake, please make use of the opportunity which will be provided on 21st to 24th to correct the detail, any mistakes. And sometimes the candidates also do this. They would have done it correctly first, and since the edit option is given, they'll see and they may make a mistake next. Please don't do it. Kindly see whether all the details are correct or not. And if it's not correct, then only kindly edit them. And regarding the document verification this time, see, for any student, writing the exam and getting good marks is important. At the same time, correctly filling your reservation claims, attending the document verification, ensuring that whatever your claims are regarding the clauses and category are met, fulfilled through application is also very much important for allotment of the seats. So therefore, the amount of importance you give to write the exams, the same amount of importance should be given to fill the respective categories and reservations your claims in the application. Many a times I've come across certain cases where we have clause A in CET, wherein students who have put in 7 years of study years here in Karnataka are eligible for clause A. So what happens is, but they would have studied in different districts or different talukas. So in case, assume that there is a student, Ajay Kumar, he would have studied for 3 years in Bijapur, 3 years in Raichur. When we say go for document verification, he'll go to Bijapur BO for verification there. And another 4 years, which is pending in Raichur, he'll not go. He'll say, I've gone to one BO, that's sufficient. No, that is not sufficient. ಅದು ಸಾಲಲ್ಲ. ನೀವು 3 ವರ್ಷ ಬಿಜಾಪುರದಲ್ಲಿ 4 ವರ್ಷ ರಾಯಚೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಓದಿದ್ರೆ ಆ 2 BO ಕಚೇರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಆ 7 ವರ್ಷದ್ದು ನೀವು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ ವೆರಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕು. ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ 7 ವರ್ಷ ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಮತ್ತೆ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಸೀಟ್ ಅಲಾಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ಎಲಿಜಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಬಟ್ ಇಂಥದೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಗ್ಲೂ ಸೀಟ್ ಮಿಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುವಂತ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ನಿಮ್ ರಿಸರ್ವೇಶನ್ಸ್ ನ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ದರ್ ಇಸ್ RD ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಟ್ ವೆರಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಈ ಸತಿ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ RD ನಂಬರ್ ಎಂಟರ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಾಟಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 80% ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗೋಯ್ತು ಅಂತ, 20% ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ 20% ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಡಿಮೆ ನಂಬರ್ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲ, ಹುಡುಗರು ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, 255 ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ 20% ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೂ 40,000 ಹುಡುಗರದು RD ನಂಬರ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಈಗ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು, ಇಲ್ಲ ನಾವು RD ನಂಬರ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನನ್ನ ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಟ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೀಗೇನೆ ಇದೆ, ಅದನ್ನೇ ಹಾಕಿದೀನಿ, ಯಾಕೆ ತಪ್ಪು ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ತಪ್ಪು ಅಂತ ಯಾಕೆ ಬರ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಈಗ 10th ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಓದಿ, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ PUC ನ ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ PU ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಇಂದಾನೆ ನೀವು ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹೆಸರನ್ನ ನಾವು ಎಂಟ್ರ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಬಿಡಲ್ಲ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ನಿಮ್ದು 10th ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ SLC ನಂಬರ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಎಂಟರ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ನೀವು ಎಂಟರ್ ಮಾಡಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನಿಮ್ ಹೆಸರೆಲ್ಲ ಫೆಚ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡತ್ತೆ. 10th ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ನಿಮ್ ಹೆಸರಿದೆ, 10th ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಹೆಸರು ಫೆಚ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಈಗ ನೀವು RD ನಂಬರ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರಿ. RD ನಂಬರ್ ಹಾಕಿದಾಗ ಆ RD ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಟ್ ನ ನಾವು ನಾಡಕಚೇರಿ ಡೇಟಾಬೇಸ್ ಇಂದ ತಗೊಂಡ್ವಿ. ಆ RD ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 10th ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ ಹೆಸರು ಏನಿದೆ ಅದೇ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಸಪೋಸ್ 10th ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ ಹೆಸರು ಅಜಯ್ ಕುಮಾರ್ ಸಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. RD ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಬರೀ ಅಜಯ್ ಕುಮಾರ್ ಎಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಆಗ ಅದು RD ನಂಬರ್ ಮಿಸ್ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ನೀವ್ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಹುದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ RD ನಂಬರ್ ಹಾಕ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. ಬಟ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹೆಸರು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಏನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಅದೇ ಬಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ನಿಮ್ಮ RD ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಹೆಸರಿಗೆ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಮಿಸ್ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಈ 40,000 ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಏನಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಈಗ ನೀವು ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆ ಬರ್ದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ 21ನೇ ತಾರೀಕು ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಬಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ ಒಂದ್ ಲೈನ್, RD ನಂಬರ್ ಡಿಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಅಂತ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ನ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಗಮನಿಸಿದ್ರೆ 2 ಲೈನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ, RD ನಂಬರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ. ಆಗ ನೀವು ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ನಿಮ್ಮ RD ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಟ್ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿರೋ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹೆಸರು ಆ RD ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಟ್ ಮೇಲಿರೋ ಹೆಸರು 2 ಒಂದೇ ಇದೆಯಾ ಅಂತ ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಇದ್ರೂ ಅದು ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್. ಅಜಯ್ ಕುಮಾರ್ ಸಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತಿದೆ, ಅಜಯ್ ಕುಮಾರ್ ಎಸ್ ಅಂತಿದೆ, ಅವಾಗ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಹಾಗೆ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ SINGH ಅಂತ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. RD ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀ SING ಅಂತಿದ್ರು ಅವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮಿಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚಸ್ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ನೀವು ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ. ಸೊ ಸ್ಪೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಹಿಡಿದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಇನ್ನು ಎರಡನೇದು, RD ಅಲ್ಲಿ 3B ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು 2B ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀರಾ, ಅವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಅದು RD ಮಿಸ್ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ RD ಮಿಸ್ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಕ್ಕೆ 2 ಕಾರಣ. ಒಂದು, ನಿಮ್ ಹೆಸರು ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ತಾಳೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿ ತಾಳೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಇದೆರಡು ಆ ತರ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ನಿಮ್ ಹತ್ರದ್ದು ತಾಲೂಕಾ ಕಚೇರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಒಂದು ಅರ್ಜಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟು, ಈ ತರ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಈ ತರ ಇದೆ, ನನ್ನ SLC ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಕಾರ್ಡು ಹೀಗೆ ಇದೆ, ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಇದನ್ನ ತಿದ್ದುಕೊಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ತಿದ್ದಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಸುಮಾರು ಜೂನ್ 1st ವೀಕ್ ತರ ಈ ತಪ್ಪಾಗಿರೋ ಅಂತ RD ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ತಿದ್ದೋದಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಲಿಂಕ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ ಡಿ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಜೂನ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ವೀಕ್ ತರ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಆದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ನೀವು ಎಕ್ಸಸೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಈ 38,000 ಹುಡುಗರು ಏನಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಈಗ ಏನು ತಲೆ ಕೆಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋ ಅಗತ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಟೈಮ್. ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಆದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಯಾಕೆ ಮಿಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೋಗಿ ನೋಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅದನ್ನ ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಟ್ ನ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ತಿದ್ದಿಸಿ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋ ನಂಬರ್ ಹಾಕಿ, ಆರ್ ಡಿ ನಂಬರ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ನಿಮ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋ ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಟ್ ನಮಗೆ ಫೆಚ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ದಟ್. So I'll repeat this again. See, even if your RD number, whatever you have entered is correct, but still your application may show that the RD number is not matching. That's because your name, whatever you have entered in your RD certificate, will be different from what is there in your application. If it is Ajay Kumar Singh in your application, it should be the same in your RD certificate. And secondly, if there is a category mismatch, suppose you put your category as 2B in your application, and in your RD certificate it shows as 3A, then also it will show as a mismatch. So your name and category should match. So we'll be giving an opportunity for students to re-enter their RD number in the first week of June. So whosoever RD numbers have not matched in their application, if you see there will be a small print, it will say, there will be 2 lines at the last page of the application saying that the RD number has not matched. These students, after your exams get over, the CET exams, kindly see your RD number and see your application, see your RD certificate, find out what is not matching, and then get it rectified in Taluka office. And we'll release a link in the first week of June to re-upload your RD number, correct RD number. After you get it rectified, you upload it again. So this is one important instruction I wanted to give. And secondly, many students of last year, like those who have written their PU exams or CBSE, ICSE in the year 21-22 will be taking CET exams again. So if they take their exams again, no issues, but you'll have to upload your marks card. This year's student, there is we have a mechanism where their marks will be taken directly from the PU board. But for the previous year's candidates who all write exams now, they'll have to upload their marks. Many students, they'll say, Namdu rank barlila. The rank won't come only because your marks will not be available with us. Not your CET marks, but your CBSE, ICSE marks and your PUC marks. So CBSE, ICSE, PUC students of previous years, CBSE, ICSE students of this year also, kindly upload your marks whenever we give the link. The link will be given about a week before declaring the results. You need to upload your marks. Only then we'll be able to declare your results. And next is, I've also come across cases where the parents would have said, don't worry, you'll get a management seat, don't go to KEA. And then after some time, they'll come again here saying that, no, we can't get the seat in management. Unless you get your documents verified in KEA, unless you get a rank with us, unless you have a verification slip from KEA, you cannot go and get any seat in management quota. So many have lost their seats because they came much later after all this process got over. So they said, we have paid the fees, we have joined the college. But unless you complete all these procedures, your admissions to the college will not be approved in later stages in the Department of Collegiate Education and Technical Education. Therefore, everybody, irrespective of whether you want to get a seat allotted through KEA or you want to get a management seat, you should come for document verification. You should upload your marks. You should get the verification slip from KEA. This is mandatory. And for the exams also, I have 1 or 2 more instructions. That is, there is no dress code as such, but please do come in a comfortable dress, and there are no jewelry and watches and all are not allowed. And secondly, apart from the admission ticket, which is hall ticket, which is issued to you from Karnataka Examination Authority, you need to get one more photo ID proof. That photo ID proof can be your driving license, passport, Aadhaar card, PAN card, or your voter's license, or your second PUC admission card. It can be a CBSE, ICSE admission card or your second PUC admission card, but one photo ID proof should be there apart from any of these documents. And there is general instructions in our admission ticket. Kindly go through it. So you know what to take along with your admission card, which we have given. So one more document will be required. So these are the major instructions which I wanted to give at this point of time. So kindly keep in mind about your RD certificates and this edit option, which we will be giving again on 21st of May. So these are the main issues which you need to keep in mind. And secondly, regarding any marathon which is going on in the state, it will not affect CET exams. Will take proper care. And anybody who is coming from outside Karnataka to write CET exams, the rules are same for everybody. The rules are same for everybody. They just have to come and write their exams. They have to go to whatever center has been allotted to them. Please be there 1.5 hours early, and then they can. This is a multiple choice questions, 60 questions paper. So it's the same. I mean, for everybody, it's the same, whether you're from inside Karnataka or outside Karnataka. Yeah.
Thanks, ma'am. That was quite insightful. Very common mistakes that students make every time during CET. We have a question from one of the viewers. Vikram has asked, for a candidate who studied in a CBSE school, do we need to get BEO attestation for study certificate?
See, earlier there would be two stages. They would get a BEO attestation and then they would come to KEA for verification. Now we have reduced it to one single thing. He need not get any attestation. Instead, he should take a study certificate, go to BEO's office. There they will verify his study details and upload it online to us directly. It will be verified online.
Now, is there anything extra that CBSE students, CBSE, ICSE students need to do apart from the marks uploading that you spoke about?
See, apart from that marks uploading, they'll have to go to BEO's office only for document verification. And secondly, no, not many, no, it's okay, that's fine. Only these two things. They need to upload their marks and they need to go to BEO for document verification. And CBSE, ICSE students have observed one thing. For second PUC students, I mean, those who have taken second PUC here, the mistakes in the replication is minimal. It's because we have picked all their data, their name, their father's name, everything. But CBSE students would have committed some of the CBSE students have committed mistakes in the spellings of their names, in the names of their father and mother. In case there is any such thing after the exams, in case if there is a mistake in their name, they should mail to KEA immediately if there is mistake in the spellings and all. Apart from the name, if there is anything else, then category and all will give an edit option to edit themselves. But if there is a change in their name, father's name and mother's name, they'll have to send a mail to us along with sufficient documents like their Aadhaar card of their parents and all. We'll verify that and we'll edit it here. During this edit window, when the edit window is open, like 21st to 24th May.
How do students reach out to you? There's a general concern about the helpline. So,
no, like even I was surprised. This time we got minimum number of calls.
okay.
Hardly 50 to 60, and we have given our mail ID also in our brochure. If students go to our website, whatever mail ID we have given there, if they just send mail to us also, that is sufficient. And this time applications have gone smoothly, hardly any calls. Is the best thing.
Is there any change in the counseling process this time? Last time there were a lot of hiccups.
Yeah, last time was, the same thing, that 40,000 was there, which we didn't expect. So this time we are ready to, for that 20% whose RD is not matching. So we have already made a list of those students. We are giving them one more opportunity to rectify. In case that fails, we have one more plan in holding. So no issues. There'll be one verification. They have to go to BO's office, that's all.
Okay. Last year there was also that issue was one batch who had not written the PU exam.
Huh.
So this year, what's the formula for them?
COVID batch, it's the same. Like once the court, it has given order saying that, they may write exams for how many ever years, but the same procedure holds. That is a deduction of 6 marks from their total marks in each subject. The same thing will be done this year also. We have put it in a brochure as well.
You had mentioned, I think BSc nursing being added is one of the new things this time for CET. So is there anything specific those students need to know about?
BSc nursing, it's like they don't have a separate application. They have to fill in CET applications only, write CET exams itself. And after document verification, when we go in for counseling, seat allotment, they have to choose nursing seats. In case anybody wants nursing seats only, he has to choose only the nursing colleges, then only he'll get nursing seats. In case in his option entries, he puts both engineering and nursing, if the merit is good, very likely that he'll get engineering only. So the options and prioritization, they should do properly.
Lastly, when can they expect the results and the counseling to start?
We are planning that it's only because of this one more round of RD number matching and all. We are planning to start document verification in the mid-June. Before we start document verification, at least some 3 to 4 days earlier to that, we'll be releasing our results. That is, results can be expected somewhere around 12th to 15th of June. And document verification around 20th of June. And counseling will be over by July 30th.
So we'll be back to our normal admission schedule this time.
Yeah, normal routine.
All right, ma'am. Thank you so much for your time and your insights.
Yeah,
thank you so much. We will now move ahead with our rest of the panel discussion. Our panelists have already joined us. Let me introduce them to you. I have the pleasure of introducing Dr. G. Sridhar. He is an alumnus of IIT Kharagpur and the Johns Hopkins University. But instead of starting a career there in the US, he came back to India and he, in 1998, started the ACE Creative Learning Private Limited, the banner under which Diksha Learning Center works. Diksha is now grown into a Bangalore headquartered education services company, catering to a wide range of educational services from K-12 education to undergraduate competitive examination coaching. Welcome, sir. I think our students would love to hear from you on these last minute tips just before they write CET.
Thank you, Shruti. A pleasure to be here with you all and very happy to share thoughts and ideas that I have.
Yeah, we also have Professor Gopal K. Shyam. He is a professor and HOD of Department of Computer Science and Engineering of Presidency University. He has an experience in teaching of around 16 years and is also actively involved in research in cloud computing, e-commerce, artificial intelligence applications, and protocol engineering. Welcome, sir. Pleasure to have you here with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Also joining us today is Shishir. Shishir might be very familiar for all you CET aspirants. He was the JEE Advanced All India Rank 1 last year. He secured rank 4 in CET for engineering and rank 1 in the pharma category. Shishir, but instead of joining IIT Bombay's most coveted computer science seat, he's joined the Indian Institute of Science. He's doing a BTech in maths and computing. So Shishir was in class all this while, but I think he's joined us. Shishir, hope you're there.
Yes, ma'am. Hello, everyone.
Welcome, Shishir. Also to add about Shishir, his father has been working with the Times of India Bangalore for over 20 years. So he was very much part of our family. And we've been extremely proud of his achievements. In case you want to make some opening remarks, Dr. Sridhar, you can go ahead.
First of all, let me start off by wishing the children who are getting set for the CET just around the corner. Wish you all the very best. You've studied hard, you've worked hard, and now confidently go and write. Yeah? Honestly, last 10 days, some miracle is going to happen, things are going to happen, nothing like that. You work for 2 years, you work for a long time, happily go and write. Yeah, a lot of it depends on your state of mind. Half the battle in winning a competition, winning a award, winning a tournament is believing that you've already won. And when you go with that mindset, "Arey Baba, I'm going to crack this examination, piece of cake, I'm going to do well," you go positive, your performance automatically will be very good. The good news is this year, the system has completely recovered from COVID. Classes got over on time. The PUC examination was done on time. March 29th, the exams got over. And you'll actually got a good chunk of time to study. Yeah, this is the longest period between the PUC examinations and the CET examinations. So you got a good chunk of time to study. So I hope you made use of this time and are all set for the CET examinations that are around the corner.
Thanks, sir. That's quite a morale boost for children now. Professor Gopal, do you want to add on now?
Yeah, dear students, the thumb rule to crack CET is to know the syllabus and exam pattern of the exam thoroughly, as was explained by Ramya ma'am here. Okay, you need to make a study plan. Accordingly, divide the plan in such a way that equal focus is given to all the subjects, physics, chemistry, maths, and students writing biology. Also make sure that your study plan carries schedule for revisions also for the end moment. Also, students, please believe in yourself and stay motivated during these last few days. Don't let yourself get demotivated. Eating healthy and staying motivated is necessary to prepare well for any exam. Please remember, no one is born genius. It's just one's hard work and never giving up attitude that creates all the differences. Please give your best for the forthcoming exams. Thank you.
Shishir, you just went through the grind last year. What do you have to tell your fellow students? I think you will be the best person to empathize with them now.
There's only roughly a week left, so there's nothing much you can prepare right now. So it would be best to take it slow and try to solve the previous year papers and try to give some mock exams and try to learn from your mistakes there rather than trying to learn a whole new topic right now and worrying about you not knowing that.
Thanks, Shishir. We'll go to Dr. Sridhar. If you can give some tips for the last 10 days.
Yeah, just continuing on what Shishir said, I think very important, last 10 days, please do not try to learn something new. It'll only get you scared, get you worried, get you nervous. You finish studying, you only want to solidify, you want to nail down what you've already learned, become very confident in what you've learned. So PUC exams are over in the end of March. You had the whole month of April to revise through it and to change your focus from a board examination where you have to write in detail to a competitive examination where speed matters. And there's not much writing. You can just scribble and just color it A, B, C, D. So the last 1 month, I hope, was spent in making that transition. That instead of writing neatly and taking your time, how to quickly jump it, get the answer, and get A, B, C, D, mark it, and go along. So the same chapters, the syllabus in PUC and in CET are identical. So the same chapters in the last 1 month, hopefully you practice the MCQ questions and become faster at it. And like Shishir said, now the last 10 days which are there, just sit and write mock papers. That's all you can do. I would say you have 4 subjects if you're writing or 3 subjects. Try to do at least every 2 days, 1 whole set of papers. So between now and the end, at least 5 mock papers. My general rule of thumb for children is, hey, between 10 to 15 mock papers you should have written through the whole process while you're revising and preparing. Now 10 days are there. Please practice the 5 mock papers. And in your spare time, if you're not already gone through the previous year's papers, sit and solve the previous year's papers. Number one, by doing the previous year's papers, you get a complete feel of, hey, this is exactly what I'm going to see in the examination. And then by doing the mock papers, you're timing yourself, getting yourself to be able to balance your attention to the various chapters that are there and how you can optimally use your time to complete the examination. So last 10 days, mock test and look at the old papers. That will be my main advice to the children.
Thank you, sir. Over to you, Professor Gopal. You come from an engineering background. You've been teaching for the past 16 years in an engineering college. So what do you think, who do you think should be taking CET? What is the aptitude that a student should have if he wants to get into engineering?
Yeah, so as my other panel members said here, last few days, the students, they need to practice, and practice. They need to actually have a problem-solving aptitude. The students writing the exams, they need to have a problem-solving aptitude that will come only when they solve more and more problems. Because if you are going to opt for engineering, you require that skill. Because engineering, as we know, is all about solving problem. solving problem, be it any discipline, whether you go for computer science with specialization courses or electronics or electrical, mechanical, civil, all those disciplines requires you to solve a problem. Okay, so you need to be good at that. You ultimately need to choose your branch as per your strength, as per your skill set that you have and the skill set that you are looking to have in yourself in the future. Okay, then you need to give your best possible effort to make sure that whatever disciplines you have identified, you are able to do complete justice in that. So students who have a very good aptitude with mathematical problems, who are able to solve problems well, they will possibly try to go into, let's say, CS and IT related disciplines, which requires them to solve problems, which requires them to write algorithms, which requires them to build automated systems. So they should not worry too much about all those things at this point of time. At this point of time, we would want them to focus on their subjects, make sure that you are thorough with the basics, you know the formulas, you know the concepts, the fundamentals, because that will give you the confidence that is needed to tackle the exams. And with that confidence, you can be able to give your best. And that is what we want you to do in the last 10 days. So please focus on that, revise all the concepts, make sure that you are giving priority for all the subjects. It's not that you are focusing more on physics and concentrating less on maths and chemistry. No, please try to focus on all the subjects, because you never know. Just say that maybe physics paper could be a very easy one, but other subjects could be tougher ones. Right? So if you have a very good strategy for all tackling all these things, you will be a winner. So please revise, practice, because practice makes a man perfect. Okay? Give your best and all the best. Thank you.
Shishir, can you give some tips on what a student should do inside a CET exam hall?
So the main thing a student should do inside the exam hall is not to worry about the exam. So when you worry about it, then you waste time, and maybe even your mind doesn't work properly. So just be what happens will happen, and just I want to do my best, because the result of the exam can't be determined by you, and if you worry, it'll be more worse than if you don't worry. And if you had worked hard, I think whatever will come, basically. And mainly and you have to attempt the questions very strategically, so that you want to attempt the parts which are faster and which take lesser time. So maybe you want to focus on chemistry. You see, read the question. If you know the answer, mark the answer. If you don't know the answer, go to the next question immediately. So that will save a lot of time for others.
So how did you de-stress when you were in the exam hall?
So I, in general, if I don't get some questions, I don't try to spend more than 30 seconds per question. Then I'll be I'll come to it later. If I think that I can get it, then I'll try to solve it. But if I have no clue, I'll be let's go to some other question and just keep skipping until I get a question which I can. And that, so that I can save a good amount of time for the ending. If I have more time for the ending, I'll worry less, because I have more time for less questions which are harder.
Dr. Sridhar, since he's already touched the subject of time management, can you take this forward? How best should a student attempt a question paper?
The whole CET examination is all about time management. Ramya ma'am also spoke about that. Shishir has also explained that. It's about using your time judiciously. Now, if you look at the 4 subjects, physics, chemistry, math, and biology, biology is a subject they'll have plenty of time. Children finish the paper in 40 minutes. It's all theory, it's all factual. So time management really doesn't come in biology. Take your time, answer all the questions. You have a chance to do revision afterwards, and then submit the paper. Little tougher than that comes the chemistry paper. Chemistry paper, over half the questions, because you have inorganic chemistry and you have organic chemistry, these are all factual and theoretical questions. So you read the question, you know it, you answer it, or else you don't know it. It goes quickly. Around 30% of the paper is physical chemistry, which is numerical in nature. It will take you a couple of minutes to solve those questions. So generally, chemistry is where you feel a little difficult in completing the paper. But traditionally, historically, chemistry also, people have been able to complete the paper on time. Then you come to the physics. Physics paper, over half the questions are numerical. So when over half the questions are numerical, typically children struggle to finish the physics paper. Now, like Shishi said, look the questions quickly. If you know what answer is, go on to the next question. You want to quickly find the 30 or 40 questions in physics that you know and you can finish quickly. Complete those off first. You see the question number 3, it's a numerical problem. You know you can do it, but it's a lengthy problem. It'll take you 4 or 5 minutes to do it. Don't make it an ego hassle and say, man, I got to crack every question. I will not go to the next question until I solve this question. It's not a fight between you and the paper. It's a fight between you and the time. Finish as much as you can. So if you feel this question I can solve that will take you time, skip it and go on. 30 to 40 questions in physics, you can finish very quickly. And then come back to the remaining questions. If you can do all 20, great. If you get to 10 or 12 also, excellent performance, because physics is where you will start finding it difficult to complete the paper. And then the toughest one, with everyone cries, every CET exam, a child will come out crying, sir, chemistry maths paper too long. Why? Yeah, 60 questions, all are numerical, all have to be solved. There's no theory there at all. Everything has to be solved. Finishing it in a minute is really very difficult. Genuinely doing 30 questions in mathematics paper is actually a very good a number of questions to solve. Toppers will score 58, 59 questions on 60. But that's where you'll find your challenge in mathematics this time. And that's why, once again, I would say, please be very judicious in the question you choose to solve. Glance at the question. Don't sit and read the question quickly. Glance at the question and you should be able to estimate, hey, can I do this question in 1-2 minutes or not? If you feel in maths I can finish in 1-2 minutes, attempt it. If you feel I know it, but it'll take me 4-5 minutes, make a small dot over there in the question paper that I'm going to come back to this question and go on. If you read the question and say, hey, it looks strange, I've not seen this question before, don't do anything, don't come back to this question. You will not have time. Don't worry, go on with the paper, finish the paper, do one glance through once. You will have 30, 25, 30, you'll finish, but at least 10, 15 more questions, you're a mark saying that I know how to do it, just give me time. Go back to take 2 or 3 minutes to finish those questions. And before you realize it, 60 minutes will be up. This is what you should practice in your mock test as well. The ability to glance and decide, hey, is this a question I can solve or not? Develop that through your mock test and the practice test.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Professor Gopal, let's speak about engineering a bit. Once a student cracks the CET, computer science seems to be the most in vogue course stream this time. But there are a lot of variations inside computer science itself that are available now. Data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, different permutations and combinations. So which one should a student take? How can he come to the conclusion that this is the course that is meant for me?
Yeah, so a very valid question. Now, what the students need to do is, while they're opting for engineering, they, as you said, need to see the demanding branches currently are computer science and IT, with specializations in AI and ML, or data science, or blockchain, cloud, cybersecurity, DevOps. Okay, and it is not as if other branches are not in good status. The opportunities are plenty in mechanical, EC, EEE as well. Now, the students, they need to see the skill set that they have in currently. For example, in my previous opinion, I said, let's say a student is very good in mathematics. So he should probably be now planning something so that he applies that knowledge, his mathematical skills, in a course which requires the intensive knowledge of that. So branches like AI and ML, data science, will be inappropriate for them, because there are a lot of mathematical skills are needed, a lot of research skills are needed, aptitudes are needed, which will make them to give in their best possible effort. Then also, once they enter into the engineering, they will see that it is not only about computer science. Actually, engineering is all about interdisciplinary knowledge. So when they enter into that, they will feel that they also need to have the knowledge of electronics, electrical, mechanical, civil, and other components, actually. So it is not as if they will be able to get jobs only if they go in for computer science and related specializations, but they can be able to get good jobs in whatever they take, and in whichever they are able to give their best possible effort, in whichever course they are able to get a very good skill set. So now currently the jobs, the salary pay packages are more with computer science and IT related specializations. So they can focus on that. and they can decide based on the skill set that they have. If they are very good in mathematics, they can go in for courses which requires mathematical skills. If they are not good at mathematics, they can try to be good at it because they still have some time. As I said, they can try to revise the concepts, be good at the fundamentals, and then look for the courses which actually makes them to opt for that and gives them an opportunity to give their best possible effort. So that is what is the opinion from my side. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Shishir, since we are already speaking about it, can you tell me about your course, whatever you are doing now, and why you decided to join IISc instead of IITB?
So I'm in IISc. I'm doing the course on mathematics and computing. So this has a bit more emphasis on mathematics compared to like the computer science course in like IIT. So I was interested in mathematics when I was in 12th, so I wanted to join something like this. And I was like interested in research, and also like I thought being in IISc, like the environment will be more research focused compared to like IIT. So I thought this would be a better option for me.
So the message, I think, is that students should know what their interests are and choose the stream that they are interested in instead of looking at what the society is doing. I hope you are enjoying your course now.
Yes, ma'am, I'm enjoying it.
All right. Dr. Sridhar, what is the difficulty level of a CET paper? How many questions are easy usually? How many are difficult? Is there a specific pattern to it that usually associates with CET?
So largely, CET paper is moderately difficult. It really mimics the PUC syllabus, NCERT books. If you're thorough with the NCERT, you'll not find too many questions in the CET paper that are difficult. You'll find them lengthy that you can't finish the paper, but they're not going to be, I've not seen this question before. Oh my God, where is this concept from? You'll not get questions like that at all. It's all moderate, well-balanced papers over the years. But then there'll be some variation between the subjects. So mathematics historically is always, any child comes out of mathematics paper, they're crying, sir, I couldn't finish the paper. So lengthy will be a descriptor every year. I'm sure this year also children will come out and say, mathematics paper was very lengthy. But keep in mind, it's lengthy for everyone. Yeah, if it's a tough paper, it's tough paper for everyone. It's all relative. It's a competitive examination. So a tougher paper does not mean it's bad for you. It's tougher for everyone, no big deal. In that toughness, how do you use your time judiciously and get the marks that you should get? The whole trick in the game is, I know some information. How do I make sure I transfer that in the OMR sheet correctly? That is the transfer function you want to optimize. That's all. That what I know, I've been able to replicate it in the OMR sheet. I got the marks that I should get, that I deserve. So maths is generally lengthy. That will always be there. But if I look at the other subjects, if I look at chemistry historically has been easy. If I look at the previous years, 2022 chemistry was easy. 2021 also chemistry was easy, but 2020 chemistry was moderately difficult, and there was one 2027 when chemistry was very tough. It really took everyone by 2017. It was very tough. It took everyone by surprise. But otherwise, chemistry generally is easy. Physics alternates between easy and moderately difficult. Last year, physics was also tough. The year before, it was moderate. The year before, physics was easy. In 2020, it was easy. There it was moderate. My expectation is this year, physics will be moderately easy and chemistry may be a little tougher, is what I expect. But it's everyone's guess. Yeah, I'm also guessing like everyone else. Math will remain lengthy. But then physics may be a little easier this year. Chemistry may be a little tighter or trickier between the subjects that are there. But otherwise, it's largely based on your NCERT, PUC. Just be thorough with it. The key in competitive examination is speed and accuracy. It's not about knowledge. It's not about difficulty level. It's about finishing it on time and not making a mistake while finishing it. So the whole focus during this revision next 10 days also is, how do I do it quickly? And when I'm doing it quickly, how do I make sure I don't make a mistake?
And are there any topics that they need to specifically look at? Any topics from where most questions come?
So certainly, so there are topics of little more important, but I would say there are topics where you can easily score. Those are topics you don't want to miss out. Like in physics, if you look at it, modern physics, the entire chapter, modern physics, communication, nuclear physics, all are very simple questions. You can quickly finish them and solve them, as opposed to questions in electrostatics, maybe it'll be a little lengthier. So modern physics, certainly I'd say every child should focus and do that well. Ray optics is also fairly straightforward. That's a questions that are easy to do. These are chapters they should focus on. EMI, AC, electromagnetism, mag effects, etc. A little trickier. If you had to choose between chapters that, hey, I can only study 6 chapters, tell me which 6 chapters to do, my focus would be more on modern physics, ray optics, maybe wave optics. Likewise, if I go in mathematics, topics we can quickly score is vector algebra, 3D geometry, matrices, determinants. These are easier to score, quick to score. And also definite integrals. Definite integrals, there are 25 rules. You know the rules, you just match it, you finish the question quickly. You're not scratching your head that much. And in chemistry, chemistry is the tougher amongst the 3 because it's very spread out in organic, and physical. In physical, important chapters are chemical kinetics and electrochemistry, but they'll be time consuming. You can't finish it quickly. It will take time solving those questions. And then organic chemistry, alcohols, phenols, ethers, alkohalanes, haloarenes. These are again chapters that are important and easier to score. So ideally at this time, you should not be saying, I'm going to study. Like Shishi said, this is the time you said, I finished studying. I'm just going to practice and become faster. What I know, I'm going to perfect it and become quick and accurate at it. That should be the strategy.
All right. Shishir, can you tell us, how did you prepare for CET? Not just the last minute, but on a longer run now. How did you do it?
So like for CET, it's mainly like focusing on the textbooks, the state textbooks or the NCERT textbooks. Like majority of the questions, especially in chemistry and like good amount of physics, directly come from like a factual based from there, and the other part of like physical chemistry and the numerical part of physics also comes from like you should be able to solve if you're able to solve the backside questions of the textbook in space and chemistry. The mathematics questions were more like I focused on theory, and then because of solving some problems which are related to that, I was able to solve it. So it's mainly like focusing more on the textbooks because they don't try to go out of it, and mainly all the concepts are covered in that, and you should be able to score a good amount just by focusing on the textbooks and trying to solve some problems, like taking some few mock tests in between.
You started your preparation, I think, when you were in class 8 or so. That was the JEE.
Yes, sir.
So, does that give an advantage? I mean, what is your advice to students who have started in class 11 for the preparation for CET?
I'm like starting from class 8 or class 11 is not a huge difference. It's just like if you start from class 8, it just makes it right in 11th and 12th a bit easier. It just be harder at 11th because you're completely new to this like huge amount of syllabus. But by like the mid of 12th, if you're doing it consistently for like 1.5 years, by mid of 12th, you'll be comfortable with most of like 11th and 12th syllabus. Slowly, you'll be getting the hang of it, and your scores will improve. It's more like the start will be very rocky if you're starting from 11th, and you might like get more disappointed, and like it'll be harder to like continue with the same amount of like hard work. And I would say that you just have to like believe in yourself. With time, it's going to get better. There's nothing much you can do there.
Okay, that is interesting. Thanks, Shishir. Professor Gopal, how should a student select a college? What are the things that a student should look for in a college?
Yes. Again, a very good question. I think there are a few things that they should keep in mind while selecting a college. The very first thing is checking for the affiliation, accreditation of the college, whether they have the affiliation of the standard bodies or not. The second thing that they should look in for is the internship and job opportunities. Next could be the student-faculty ratio. Next one could be the laboratories, the accessibilities, the instruments, the tools that are available. Next important point is the updated curriculum, whether the curriculum is as per the industry requirements or not, and whether the revisions happens once in every 6 months or in a year or not, because the industry needs also changes very frequently. So as the need changes, we need to adapt to that, and we need to change our curriculum. So they need to see whether they have that kind of scope. And then the very important thing that they should see is whether the course gives them the opportunity to do some research. So, for example, at our university, the final year students, we expect them to publish a research article. So what they do is they identify a societal problem, a problem related to, let's say, agriculture or academia or road management, traffic management, waste management. So what students are made to do is they need to identify a problem that they see in the society. They need to find a solution to that. They need to work on that. They need to implement, and then they need to prepare a research article and present it in a conference or publish it in a journal. So that is the minimum thing that they need to do so that they are awarded for their project work. The next thing that they also should keep in mind is about the academic support in the institution that involves the usage of modern pedagogy to implement, let's say, project-based learning, collaborative-based learning. And the other point is the exchange program. The university, the institution should help them to go in abroad to study some of the courses and get the credits for that. Then they also should keep in mind whether the institute has the continuous evaluation process for whatever they do in the labs. Continuous evaluation process, requirement of any policy. They should also see a very, very important thing, whether they have the professional bodies in the institute or not. For example, professional bodies with respect to Computer Society of India, IEEE, ACM, all these student chapters must be there, because a lot of activities are conducted under these student chapters, and all these things gives them ample of opportunities to take initiatives, develop leadership skills, and solve problems. And they should also see whether the institution has some programs which can connect them to IIT and prominent industry. For example, at our university, for some of the programs, we connect to IIT Mumbai, Madras, Kanpur, and even NASCOM, to make sure that we get a real world problem and we solve that in real time and give them the solutions. And one last thing that I would like to say is that at our university, what we did last year is we identified the fast learners, and we had one a program called as a Super 60 for the top 60 students, to let them explore and give them opportunities to be employable in the best companies, so that they would be getting the best pay packages for companies like TCS, Infosys, Capgemini, Tech Mahindra, Accenture, Microsoft, Amazon, and Google. So that's the thing that they should keep in mind. Thank you.
So where can the students find these information? Are they available on the website of every college?
On the websites of every institute, these are the mandatory information that should be. Yes.
How reliable are rankings that are available in the public domain? Can students go by them to identify the good colleges?
So we should go by the ranking as given in the, let's say, NIRF, which is put on the Indian government's website. So that is the one which is reliable. Most of the institutes, they actually give the honest ranking, but in case the student has any doubt, they can just visit that government websites and get it verified. That is a genuine ranking information. Yeah.
Dr. Sridhar, what would be a good rank for, let's say, engineering university to get into a good engineering college?
So let me preface that answer with a statement that we're very blessed and fortunate in Karnataka. We've got many very good engineering colleges. Yeah, there are plenty of colleges, plenty of seats. Therefore, you really don't need to be in the top 100 ranks to be able to get into good colleges. Just if I look at last year's data, now the most sought after department is computer science. So if I say computer science, okay, if I look at the #1 college which closed off early, RV closed by around 300 ranks, PES closed by 800 rank, MS Ramaya, BMS closed by around 1,000 ranks. Then you go, you have Dayanand Sagar, which went around 3,000, BMS IT went to 5,000, RN Shetty, Presidency, they all around 7,000, 8,000. So if you get a 10,000 rank, there are enough good and great colleges for you to get a computer science seat if you want. Now, it's not that everyone should do computer science. I agree, Bangalore is a Silicon Valley and everyone wants to be a coder, taker over here. But there are great careers in mechanical, chemical, electronics as well. Now, if you look at other departments, if I scan across, so RV itself, if I go to electronics, goes to 2,000 ranks, mechanical goes to 8,000 ranks. And if I go to PS, mechanical goes to 15,000, BMS, it goes to 20,000. So if I look at the top 4 colleges, what we see based on closing ranks, within 20,000, you get a mechanical in the top 4 colleges. And if I need to go mechanical in the next top 10 colleges, even 40, 50,000 rank, you have great colleges, great department, great opportunities. Yeah. So I think that way we're very fortunate. Karnataka has done a great job of producing fantastic universities, and a lot of private universities are honestly excelling themselves by continuously innovating, introducing new curriculum, and being current with what's happening in the world. So the private university system in Karnataka is also delivering extremely good pedagogical training for our children. So now what rank is good? I'm saying, hey, any of these ranks are great and good. What marks should you get to get these ranks? If you're aspiring to get a rank within 100, my assumption is in PUC, you got 99 in your PCM, 99 or 100 in your PCM. Then you should get a 150, 155 marks out of 180. You'll be getting a 100 rank in the Karnataka CET. If you want a 1000 rank, get 120 marks plus in your KCET exam, you'll get a 1000 rank. You want a 5000 rank, 80, 85 marks, which is not much. 85 on 180 is not too much. With a 93, 95% in PCM, will get you over the 5000 mark. And around 65, 70 marks will get you a 10,000 rank. Eminently doable. Definitely, if you look at chemistry, 30, 35 marks, everyone can score if you're just thorough with the theory of PUC. Another 5, 10 marks more you can do with the numerical. So 35 to 40 is very much doable in chemistry. Physics, you'll get a 25 to 30 quite easily. Mathematics, you get a 15 or 20 also. You added up 20 plus 35, 55, 50 plus 45, gets you to 90, 100 marks, 80 to 100 marks is very much doable in the CET exam. And if you have a PUC of 95, 96, that 5000 rank is in striking distance. So good news is you don't have to be the top 100. You have a lot of options even if you're 20,000 rank. And Karnataka has great colleges, great opportunities for everyone. Lucky to be here in Karnataka. Honestly, the children here, and I think in all of India, the best place to be. Karnataka for its engineering education.
This sounded very reassuring. Doesn't sound that stressful at all. Shishir, can you tell us, what are the kind of materials that you used for preparation?
So like for CET, the main materials I used were like the state textbooks and the previous year papers. So mainly those are the most important things which will help you. Other things were not so useful for me except my teacher's notes, which were like used mainly for like revision, which I had to do like many times. Like other sources of information, I didn't trust them too much because they had some factual errors compared to like the state textbook. So I stuck to these things because anyway the syllabus of this and the CET exam is the same. So being able to solve this should be equivalent to being able to solve a question in CET. The only problem will be the time issue, which can be solved by giving a good amount of mock tests.
So was it different for JEE and CET, your preparation, or it went in the same flow?
For JEE and CET, it went in the same flow, but just like the previous year questions for JEE are a bit harder than for CET, so it just takes a bit more time. And there are some parts of the syllabus which are there in JEE which is not there in CET, so you have to prepare a bit more for that. You have to take some other references or use some other notes for that.
Dr. Sridhar, there is this general fear, a general feeling that it's CBSE and ICSE students who do fairly well in these competitive exams, and students of the pre-university, Karnataka pre-university, are at a disadvantage. Is there any truth in this?
There was a truth 7 years ago. 7 years ago, there was a very stark difference in the ranks obtained by children, especially in the JEE and NEET exams, or the equivalent version of PMP, the other exams that were there, that the CBSE kids generally used to perform better. And the reason for that was the JEE and NEET exams was based on the NCERT book that the CBSE children used, whereas the Karnataka state had a different set of textbooks, which was different from the books used by the CBSE children. So when it came to CET examination, Karnataka children had an advantage over the CBSE children because the Karnataka paper was based on the Karnataka state books that were there. Last 4-5 years, we've combined all the syllabi. There's a common book now. The book for the PUC students and the book for the CBSE students are the same. So the syllabus, the content, the material is identical. And so now that difference has been wiped out. There is one difference is in the examination pattern. The PUC examination still emphasizes more of rote learning definition-based examination, whereas the CBSE is already morphed to an applications and higher order thinking questions. Therefore, because the examination is a certain pattern, children start preparing that pattern, and that higher order thinking helps them with the competitive examinations as well. But that difference is marginal, and it's not very large anymore. It was very different a while ago. Now it's not that different anymore. PUC kids do just as well, top these examinations, and do extremely well in competitive examinations as well.
All right. Professor Gopal, there are talks of recession in the US. There are news of layoffs in companies in India. So is there something that engineering aspirants need to be worried of?
Nothing. They need not worry about anything. They only need to have a very strong skill set with them. Once the students are there in the skill set, once they have the expertise in whatever courses they have learned, I think nobody can stop them from being placed in top MNCs and also to be able to get the pay packages. In fact, they can be able to demand whatever they want. If they really have the skill set that the company is looking for, if they really have the requirement that the company has, if they can be able to fulfill that through their ideation, through their ideas, through the coding, through the program, through the implementations, then sky is the limit. So they all need to work on the skill set, build a strong skill set for themselves so that confidently they can be able to go and challenge to the HR of any company that come what may, you can ask me any question and I'll be able to prove myself. So they should work on that aspect and they should not worry about recessions and other things. That's a temporary phase that will just pass over, but in the long run, it's only the skill set that matters.
Speaking about skill set, these additional programs that are available online, those students, do you advise students to take those up as well along with their normal engineering program?
Not exactly at this point of time, I would not, because we do not see that kind of learning happening if they go in for the complete online based courses, because they use many shortcuts. They do not teach because of lack of resources, lack of time. So the students, they do learn something, but it is not as per the expectations of the industry. The kind of knowledge, the exhaustive knowledge that is needed by the industry is not fulfilled by the online courses. Yes, however, there are few portals which, if the students take it seriously, can be able to do goods to them. But we hardly see students getting good this thing, because they should have a mentor. What we feel, if they're completely going for online, they do not get a mentor who can be able to track their progress and help them with the queries and other things that they need. So I will say that at this point of time, they should not think only about online thing. They should have a flavor of both. So wherever needed, they can go in for online MOOC courses, Udemy, and all those things are fine, but only to a certain, not for a full-fledged courses. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. My next question, I think both Shishir and later on Dr. Sridhar also can take. What are the common mistakes that students make in an exam hall? And, how should they avoid it? Shishir, you can start off.
So I feel that few common mistakes, first of all, is like not being being too tense in the exam hall, because that's a very big problem, because even if you know the answer, you might not be able to think about the solution right away. If you're tense, you really have to be cool in the exam hall. And then the other thing mainly is some students don't guess the answer because they just feel that they want to get the answer as if it's a subjective type, but this is the objective type. There are 4 options, so there are times when you can eliminate some few options and maybe you can guess with the others, maybe for just if you can get marks with luck if you're lucky. Those are also ways to get marks, which might help if you are lucky. So some students don't use that to the full advantage. I feel it should be used properly by eliminating a few options, then guessing if you don't have enough time or something.
A couple of points to add on to what Shishir also said. One common mistake a lot of children make is they mark the answers on the question paper and wait for the end of the test to go and mark it in the OMR sheet. Please don't do that. It is very prone to errors. While marking, you miss one line and you skip to the next line, then all your answers will get affected. So don't wait till the end to answer and bubble all your questions. As you keep solving the paper, keep bubbling your questions. And as you bubble it, it gives you time to then look at the paper, start thinking of the next question, your mind is processing it, and then it gives you a little free time to then focus and solve the next problem. So please don't wait till the end to bubble it. Many children have come back and said, sir, I answered everything, sir, but I shift from question number 15, my answers got shifted by one number and all of them went wrong afterwards. Yeah, definitely, please be cautious about that. Second mistake is not finding out where your exam center is. If it's a place you know, it's a school or college you know, great. But if it's in some corner of the city, in a city like Bangalore where the traffic is notorious, if it's an address you do not recognize, please go and visit that center. You or your parents go visit the center, find out where it is, how do you reach there, what are the access points. And then like Ramya ma'am said, please go there an hour and a half early. I understand, time is precious. You want to be studying to the last minute. Last minute study doesn't help. Chill, relax, talk with your parents or talk with your friends, have a jolly time. But go ahead of time into the exam center, so you're able to enter the center on time and not get rushed going in. And like Shishi said, if you go very tense, the start of the exam gets affected. So you want to be there well ahead of time, calmly sit down, put down, keep all your papers, pens, everything ready, and wait for the test to start. Then you're in the calm set of mind. So second advice is please make sure you go ahead of time. And third mistake, kind of what she should also said is, CET doesn't have negative marking. So if you just blindly go and do B, the whole paper and come out, you quite likely will get 25%. 25% on 180 will be 45, 50 marks. You'll get a 55,000 rank, 60,000 rank. You can get that rank without doing anything. So at least go and mark all your questions. You may answer half the questions, the other half that you not got. Give yourself 5 minutes time in the end to go and mark everything. It happens in mathematics. Children are anxious to solve the question. Yes, if I can do one more question, I'm going to sit and solve it. You've done 33 questions, and the 34th question you take 5 minutes to solve. The remaining 26 questions you didn't have time to color. Yeah, so please make sure you set aside the last 5 minutes. That last bell which is over there, I stop everything. I just sit and color whatever I've not done. Choose any number. A B or a C is generally human psychology. The answers are more often B's or C's. Or you feel lucky, you want to guess A, B, C, D, keep guessing randomly. Your guess is as good as mine. You have a 25% chance of getting some of those questions right. So make sure you provision time in the exam towards the end to sit and color up all the questions. So these are some of the typical mistake kids which make a tremendous impact on the final rank that they will get.
This is something that I asked Shishir. Does it matter that you made a last-minute preparation? I mean, you didn't join a coaching class in class 8. Does it matter?
Could you repeat the question?
No, this question is for Dr. Sridhar. I had asked the same.
Sorry, I thought it was for Shishir. Sorry. Yeah, what's the question? Sorry.
No, I was asking whether these last-minute students who make preparations last minute. Do they really need to worry because there'll be a batch who would have started their preparation in class 8?
So when it comes to CET, preparing from class 8 honestly doesn't give that much of a difference. You start studying in 2nd PU or 12th standard also, more than enough for CET. CET is not a conceptually difficult exam. JEE is. JEE, there's a lot of advanced concepts you have to learn over and above what the NCERT teaches you. But CET is ekdam based on your board examination syllabus. So you don't need to be studying from 8th standard. You start in 12th standard is perfectly okay. And even if you focus fully on PUC, nailed PUC, got it out of the way, and then you had 50 days to do MCQ also, not bad. 5,000, 7,000 ranks, definitely doable. You want that 100 rank, 1,000 rank, out of score 150, 160 on 180, then you need to practice much more. You can't wait for the last 10 days to practice. You should be practicing MCQs and becoming faster all throughout 12th standard. So the fact that you didn't start in 8th standard, or the fact that some children have dropped here and they're repeating it, really doesn't affect CET that much. If you've been 1 year serious, consistent, you'll do very, very well. Don't worry.
All right, thanks, sir. Professor Gopal, I think we are short of time as well. Now, one last question to you and to the audience. In case you have queries, please do drop a message on the comment box. We'll take it up soon. Professor Gopal, we talked a lot about computer science, but there's this general worry that other branches like mechanical and civil are losing out. What do you say about that? What is the scope in these branches?
No, as I said earlier, there's a lot of scope. So finally, it boils down to the skill set. So what people need to do is they actually need to identify the problems which can be solved with those kind of disciplines. So there are many problems existing in and around us, which can be solved by mechanical engineers or civil engineers. So they need to do a proper research. They need to identify the problem, think of some innovative solutions, maybe write a proposal to the state government or to the authorities, and then they need to propose that kind of solution. They need to say that, yes, this is the problem and this is the solution that would be solved with these disciplines, with these technologies. And once we are able to convince the authorities that, yes, this is going to be the proper solution for this, that's it. My job is done. I'll be able to involve myself in that project. I'll be able to create job for myself, and not a job just for myself, but also a job for others. That is how people become entrepreneurs, and they go in for other aspects, right? Because they do not only think about themselves, but they also think about others in the society. So instead of just being working under somebody, why not think of doing something which can also be able to create job for others? So this is definitely possible with any of the branches that you take, not only computer science and IT, but even with mechanical, civil, and other aspects. Not many things are there. So they ultimately need to strengthen their skill set. That is what I would like to say. Yes.
All right. Thanks, sir. I don't see any questions. So I think we'll kind of wind up. If you have any closing remarks, we'll finish up with that.
No, just wish the children all the very best. Each and every one of you all are destined to do well. Don't worry finally what rank you get, whichever college you go. If you are passionate, you're willing to work hard, and you love what you do, you'll be very, very, very successful. This is just one of the small steps on a much bigger journey ahead of you all in life. Yeah, don't get overwhelmed by this exam which is in front of you all. There's much more exciting, fun stuff waiting for you. Each and every one of you all is destined to do very well. Embrace it, work hard, happily go and write it, have fun. And I'm certain each and every one of you all will be very, very successful. All the very best.
Thank you. Professor Gopal, over to you.
Yes, all the best, students. Please, this is just, as said, sir said, another exam for you. Don't be tensed. Just go and just try to apply whatever you have learned, whatever knowledge you have gained. Just try to do it there, and everything will be there, as per your expectations, as per your dreams. So wish you all the best. Please give your best. Do well. Thank you.
Yeah, I just got a question from Vijay. Sridhar, sir, you might be able to take this. Sir, is there a problem or delay if we mark single option whole paper? I think you just mentioned about marking the same answer.
No, so you answer B for the entire paper, no one will penalize you. No, there's no fault, there's no penalty, or you mark C's, no one's going to penalize you. You can mark whatever you want. So answer all the questions you know, and then between A, B, C, D, just choose a letter which is convenient for you. You can mark all the others. But you mark 2 bubbles, the question will get disqualified. Okay, so be careful. You mark only 1 of the 4 bubbles. You can't mark more than 1 of the 4 bubbles.
Shishir, what is your final remarks for the day?
So I wish everyone all the best for their exam, and there's a saying that you should not expect fruits for your hard work. Just do the hard work and just wait for what happens. You can't expect the result there. And there will be a lot of opportunities, as Dr. Sridhar said, in the future. This is not the end of the world. There will be a lot of opportunities coming to you. So you don't have to worry too much about it.
Yes, I think that is the message for the day, that you shouldn't get overwhelmed. Exams are not the be all and end all of learning. This is just another step. Oh God, okay, now we got one more question. Swastik says, how much marks should we score in CET to get a rank below 1000? I think you've answered it, but I think you can take the game.
Yeah, below 1000, around 120 to 130 if you score. And then you have 98, 99 in your PCM, you should definitely score a rank within 1000.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. I think that's it. I don't see any more questions coming. So thank you so much to all the panelists. You have made a lot of sense. And I hope our students have benefited in the past 1.5 hours that we've been here. Thank you so much. I'm wishing all the candidates all the very best. Till we meet
Thank
again.
you. Thank you. Bye-bye. All the best.